My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Famous words from the iconic sword fight in the 1987 film The Princess Bride. Mandy Patinkin has left his mark on generations of audiences. On Thursday, Mandy Patinkin's coming to the Rebecca Cohn in Halifax with his concert show, Being Alive, and we reached him to tell us all about it. Good morning, Mandy. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Portia. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure. Just to start with, I'm wondering if you have any associations or connections with Atlantic Canada in advance of bringing Being Alive here.
Yes, we did a movie there when my kids were little, Squanto. They eventually called it Squanto.
Yeah. So your association is a fond one, I hope?
Very fond. I loved it. They didn't plan on the weather, meaning every morning we would start a scene and then the sun would be out, and then by the afternoon it would be cloudy. Well, that screwed up the schedule, so we were there months longer than we intended to be. I was ecstatic. So were my children. I remember we were staying at some hotel where they had a big water slide, and the kids just loved that. That's one of the memories I have.
Well, we're glad you're coming back and bringing this show here. What can we expect? It's songs and it's stories as well, and is some of it improvised as you go? What will you bring to Halifax in this version?
Yes. I want people not to be looking at a program and reading. I want them to be listening along with me to the words and music that these people have written, these stories that I get to tell. And I'm not the genius. I didn't write these wishes for the world. I'm just the mailman. And it's interesting. I watch my little grandson. His favorite toy, he always comes in the house to get his favorite toy, which is the mail truck. And he loves that truck. and that's what I am. I'm a mailman with my piano player, and we bring these wishes that some of these great genius artists, men and women, wrote for their own wishes for themselves and lived their lives and could never realize them, but they left these wishes behind. And sometimes they're silly wishes of how to just have fun and be silly, and sometimes they're far more profound to realize that everything we do and say is the ground we walk on, and it affects everything else that comes ahead of us. I made sure when I said to Adam Ben David, my piano player, I want it to be fun for us and for our audience. People have been locked up in a way with masks on, hidden behind their phones and computers, and we all need to be together. It's part of the human condition. And I want us to feel alive. And he said, why don't you call it that? And I said, call it what? He said, why don't you call it Being Alive? And I said, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's call it that.
I don't want to let you go without asking about The Princess Bride and its impact. You play the great swordsman, Inigo Montoya, and it found such a huge audience after first being maybe a bit of a cult hit, and then it kind of blew up from there. What do you think it is about that movie that keeps people discovering it, watching it, dozens of times?
I would say it's William Goldman's genius, Rob Reiner's incredible contribution, and every single actor and extra that was involved in bringing this thing to life. And, it's just like any other job. We all went to work realizing we had a wonderful thing, but never knowing if anybody would watch it. And indeed, when it first came out, it didn't find an audience. And like you said, it eventually became this huge thing, like the Wizard of Oz of my generation. I can't believe that I got to be in it. And I said to Rob Reiner, God, Rob, The Princess Bride is about so many things, so many stories. How would you put that in one sentence, for God's sakes? And Rob didn't miss a beat. He said, it's easy. It's about a little boy who's sick. Grandpa comes over to read him a story, to tell him the most important thing in life is true love. And if you look at that movie, every single character, the villains, the heroes, every single person in that movie's quest is for true love.